Hello, I'm Jonasz Rewiński and you're watching TVP World Talks, where every word matters. So we have reached a point where Viktor Orban may actually have problems due to his freelance diplomacy. The Hungarian presidency of the European Union has only just begun, but it's already facing an uphill struggle after Viktor Orban has decided to go to Kiev, later on to Moscow, and after that to Beijing, in order to pursue his own peace plan. The European Union wasn't really going to let that slide, however, and has decided that certain measures will be taken. So what are these measures and what's next for the presidency? We're going to ask all these questions and more to our guest today, Tomasz Orłowski, former Polish ambassador to France and Italy. Hello and welcome to TVP World.
Good morning. Thank you for your invitation.
So let us begin with the EU reaction. Was it something to be expected, really? Did Viktor Orban assume that he's going to do all this and this is going to be ignored, everything would basically go according to plan? Could he have foreseen this sort of reaction?
You know, I would like to start with another explanation, because it is something many times advanced as a Hungarian rotative presidency in the Council, and the so-called peace mission of Viktor Orban is considered as a part of rotative presidency actions, but it is something we have to explain. First, Hungary is playing a role of presidency in the Council of the European Union. Council of the European Union, Prime Minister Viktor Orban is playing no special role. He is just a head of government of the country. And Council of the European Union is meeting at the level of ministers. It is, for instance, Foreign Ministers' Council, so-called Foreign Affairs Council, but Foreign Affairs Council is headed by High Representative of the Union for security and foreign policy, no Hungarian minister or prime minister. Viktor Orban, being head of government, is sitting inside of European Council. The difference between European Council and Council of European Union is that European Council is a meeting of head of state or governments. It means top leaders. And Council of the European Union is a level of ministers. Hungary, holding the presidency, is chairing only minister meetings. No European Council, because European Council has its own stable president, who is currently till November is Charles Michel.
So what you're saying is that after the Lisbon Treaty, the presidency doesn't really matter that much, right?
Sorry?
What you're saying is that after the Lisbon Treaty, especially, the presidency doesn't really matter as much in the greater scheme of things.
Exactly. No special role for head of government holding a rotative presidency. No role for Viktor Orban. It is institutional level. After you have political level. At political level, it seems that Viktor Orban, advancing his idea of peace process, didn't inform about his missions. His missions, in the sense, it was three different trips, or even four, including a meeting with Donald Trump. He didn't inform before, and he didn't ask his counterpart inside European Council what is his ideas. Like, for instance, he informed NATO Secretary General about his plan to go to Kiev and to Moscow. He didn't talk about it with the head of state and government of the European Union. And it is a political, not only mistake, but it means that he didn't wish. He traveled pretending to have some mission as a rotative presidency, not having institutional or political right to do it.
So overall, Viktor Orban has been trying to play solo. He was trying to act in an uncoordinated way. Now, did it ever happen that the European Union was forced to take such fairly drastic measures? I mean, you've emphasized that the role of the presidency is not to be overstated, and yet the European Union, after a brief period of deliberating upon that, decided, well, okay, but we need to do something about it. So the meeting in Hungary has been downgraded. Has it ever been done before, and what does it mean in practical terms?
In principle, we are facing, as European Union, the first time this kind of situation. We can say, I remember in 2008, when it was the French presidency of the European Union, but it was before Lisbon Treaty, and French President Nicolas Sarkozy decided to go to Moscow and to Tbilisi for negotiating ceasefire. It was his right. And European Union accepted, tacitly agreed. Now we have another situation. And for the first time, a prime minister of member state is deciding some trip and some political mission without consent of member states. It is something treaty never considered as a situation, and for the moment, Union is, I think, reflecting what would be the right answer for this kind of independent way to make foreign policy. As we know, European Commission decided first that members of European Commission will not attend meetings, informal meetings of Council of the European Union. It was decided. It means no members of European Commission. It means members. It's with the level of seniors. It is the beginning of coordination of states for saying in the informal meetings, informal, it means meetings who will be held in Hungary or not in Brussels. In ministerial meetings of Council of European Union, member states will send not ministers, but deputy ministers, or even lower level of representation. It is the first political, but institutional as well, answer for this situation.
So, speaking of politics, do you think that Viktor Orban can make his presence felt in some other way, apart from directing the presidency in a way that he sees fit, which the European Union is already taking measures against? Do you think that, for example, his alliance with other far-right parties can make some sort of political stir? I mean, we are still waiting for major choices to be made for the European Union going forward. There is going to be a series of major voting sessions in Parliament later on. So do you think Orban does actually have the political clout to make it difficult for Ursula von der Leyen and the rest to proceed with their plan by using his own political alliances and contacts?
As you know, Viktor Orban decided to launch a new political group inside European Parliament, Patriots for Europe. This movement, who is considered far-right, populist or Eurosceptic. I don't have the right definition because it is just the beginning, and I am, let's say, quite careful to not use the terms. But in any case, I think Eurosceptic it is a good definition for the movement. This movement will be obviously a movement represent Eurosceptic parties, and it was decided that French National Rally, Rassemblement National, it means the party of Marine Le Pen, will join or decided to join the movement, and Jordan Bardella was appointed as president of this group. It will be important group. I don't think with the large possibilities to influence the decisions made inside European Parliament, or rather speaking, inside European institutions. But for the visibility, obviously, it will be better presented the Eurosceptic and so-called sovereignist positions. It is the movement with Marine Le Pen, Austrian far right, Czech populist, Hungarian Eurosceptic ruling party. And the second and very important thing is that there are movements who are in some extent connected or sensitive to the Russian line of policy. They are more sensitive for Russian explanation of aggression that as we, majority of Western countries, majority of European Union member states, who are considering that it is without any doubt unjustified aggression against sovereign country. It means against Ukraine.
So there might be a more sinister plan at work here, and overall Viktor Orban may still prove to be a major troublemaker within the European Union. And that's even before we consider his possible alliance with Donald Trump. And that is perhaps a matter for a different conversation. For the time being, Ambassador Tomasz Orłowski was our guest today here on TVP World. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
And I'm Jan Szerwiński. You've been watching TVP World Talks. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.